because also Argentina at some point, Enzo Fernandez was sent out due to repeated mistakes, and I'd say it was a cynical card. Something of okay, should we argue out and say a player of his caliber shouldn't have done that?
Exactly. And I think we first saw it with the Paredes when he came in. He really got a silly foul, being given a yellow card. And before even the match, some Spanish players talked about the referee should be watchful in terms of Argentina, because off the ball they also do some dirty tricks, which is the main reason I was telling you that I would have really been disappointed if Argentina would have won the final, because I feel like they're a team that doesn't play clean football, they play dirty football. And seeing Enzo Fernandez being sent off, I felt like it was justified, because what Argentina were doing, they deserved to have a red card in that match. And going back to Lionel Messi, he didn't have a good game. I feel like this is the match that he had the least touches. And it's not the only match. We've seen him against Egypt, he didn't have a good game. Against Cape Verde, he also didn't have a good game. But with Argentina winning the match, it's overshadowed Messi having a poor performance. But again, in this game against Spain, Messi had a very poor performance. And it justifies the fact that Mbappe will go with the Golden Boot. And Messi, to all Messi fans, Messi is going out with just a runners-up medal.
Okay, and just a reminder that we are going down to the likes of the Spanish side. I'm just putting you into the know that they are champions of the 2026 FIFA World Cup that has just concluded, happening in the USA, Canada, and of course Mexico. And some pointers about this Spanish side is that in 2010, that was the last time they won the World Cup. So it is 16 years of waiting. I mean, we talked about immortality records, and we have seen it all. I mean, this is a particular squad that has come in hot, and it is a squad that has been spirited, and their fight started at the group stages. I wouldn't about this Spanish side because they were pretty much silent. At some point we even called them the giants that was laying in silence, because in all the matches that they played in, remember, they started against a Cape Verde side which was hungry as well, and we thought that Cape Verde might as well frustrate them. They held them into a draw. That was their first encounter, went into the pool matches, and there was little or rather none being said about this Spanish side. I mean, what can we say about a side that has silently moved on to the World Cup and has managed to score in, or rather just clinch the top title when we are talking about football in the world? Nothing much to say about this Spanish side. I mean, just total brilliance. And it has been something that has been in the build-up, because you look at this Spanish side, it is something that has not just started yesterday. Look at the likes of Scaloni. Look at the likes of Scaloni. We've also seen Scaloni appearing to some extent.
If you look at the road to the finals, I feel like Spain coming into the final, they were the better side. And you've talked about a silent Spain, and it has reminded me of the same incident that happened in 2022 in Qatar. You remember very well, Argentina going all the way to win the World Cup. Their first match was against Saudi Arabia, and they lost. It was the shocking result of the World Cup. And if
their first match, that is in 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
They were beaten by Saudi Arabia. The shocking result was Saudi Arabia winning against Argentina. If you come to the 2026 World Cup, what was the shocking result? Cape Verde versus Spain, 0-0. And at the end of the tournament...
So it's more or less like it's just the template, which is just being, it's a replica of whatever we saw in 2022.
Happened in 2022. But again, let's not take anything away from Spain. I feel like people were not concentrating so much on Spain. We were not wary about the kind of talent that Spain comes with into this World Cup. And De La Fuente and his players, they've shown us that you didn't take us seriously, but we had one goal in mind. Spain really wanted to get the World Cup, and at the end of the tournament, they are the champions, and we can't take that away from them. It's a celebration in Spain, it's celebration in New Jersey, it's celebration also in Kenya, because so many people in Kenya were really supporting Spain. This was the moment that we all wanted.
It's a moment that we all waited for and we all wanted, because at the end of the day, we were talking of it is football against
Messi and FIFA.
Against Messi and FIFA.
Yeah.
And also there is, allow me also to loop in, because we'll also be having Amelia here.
Yeah.
And Amelia was earlier on talking about him being a staunch supporter of the Argentine side.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say luck flopped on their side this particular night.
Yeah.
So I'd really want to hear and also know much from what she is saying, because it hasn't gone as per what they had planned. Remember, let's just look at Argentina's 2 fixtures. We are talking about them staggering into the semi-finals, and look at when they are winning. Look at their tipping point. It's happening in the 80th minute, both in the Egypt game, and we are also talking about them in Switzerland as well. But I think for Switzerland, there is something which we all agreed, that was a match which they won fair and square.
Fair and square. There was no controversies in terms of refereeing, and Spain were very much lucky. And talking about Amelia, I think the only thing that she has to come and explain to us is why a team, she was supporting Argentina, why did they get 0 shots and 0 shots on target in 120 minutes? I think she has so much explaining to do for us in terms of being an Argentinian fan and watching, since she talked about Argentina being one of the best sides coming into the final, and we've talked about this one being the most one-sided final. It is a final that I'm 100% sure you've watched so many World Cup finals. And if you rate this World Cup final to the others, this one has been disappointed in terms of Argentina coming into the final. They were the best team. So many people thought about Argentina coming all the way and winning.
Okay, to be honest, they were the best team.
They were the best team. They were the best team.
Or rather, should we say on paper?
Exactly, on paper, and in terms of the hype.
Yeah.
The hype that people gave them. You talked about Spain being the silent killers. Nobody was talking about Spain. And the main explanation is, why does the best team go out with 0 shots on target in 120 minutes?
Okay, Amelia is coming through in just a few seconds from now.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah.
This one is your hot seat
Your
here.
hot seat.
Yeah, so this is your moment of how should we say in Swahili we could have even just pointed it to her by fire.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe say something about what you've just witnessed in the Argentina versus Spain final. As in, what are your sentiments coming to us as an Argentine avid fan?
Next time timu yangu ikotolewa World Cup, to be honest, and I'm speaking as someone who was supporting them, sijazoea wakicheza hivyo.
Yeah.
Like you said, shots on target 0, kila kitu 0, possession out.
Even
Martinez is the only one who's
at
playing.
19, that was 19 from Spain.
Yeah.
Then
0
from Argentina.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, maybe if we can just drift away from that, what can you say was your best moment in this 2026 FIFA World Cup as well?
There are many. Which was my best one? France kutolewa.
Yeah.
You ndio ili top on, because I wasn't really a fan. So I feel like that topped everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So France been taken off.
Okay, Leon, what was your moment in this particular World Cup?
My moment of the World Cup, just like she's saying, there are so many moments in this World Cup, but the one that stood out for me was Cape Verde being drawn in a very tough group. And they got 3 points out of the group, something that we didn't see coming. They didn't even lose a match in that group. They 100,000 people. And a nation that is so small, an island from Africa, tells us to their money. Argentina winning in the last minute by 3-2. That was my outstanding moment.
Okay. And let's look at individuals in this particular World Cup. Yeah. I'm pretty much sure Vozinha, because he won the hearts of everyone.
Everybody,
yeah. So what can you say about it? Because one thing I'd say for a fact is, to me, I'd say this one has been a World Cup of goalkeepers. We've seen goalkeepers standing out. And just a recent case in point scenario, we were watching the game with you here.
Yeah.
And you were really over the roof shouting when Martinez was making those saves.
He was the only one playing. Martinez is the only one who was playing.
Yeah. So what can you say, bottom line, about goalkeepers in this particular one? Do you think that moving on forward, we'll actually have in our leagues, be it Serie A, Bundesliga, English Premier League, will it also be a perfect pathway for goalkeepers, given that we've seen goalkeepers outshine or rather outperform even themselves in this particular 2026 FIFA World Cup?
I feel like that journey started even before the World Cup, because if you ask me, I'm going to use an example of Arsenal's goalkeeper, Raya.
David Raya.
Ilianzia tu huko. So the World Cup looks like a continuation of what he started. I think goalkeepers are wameanza sasa kuamka. We are now seeing goalkeepers can actually also be very vital in the game. Kawaida tunakwanga tu, unakwanga tu watu wamenyamaza, but we now see them coming up. I foresee a future where they are even going to start being drawn for vitu kama Ballon d'Or.
We should start
wameanza kuamka sana.
Leon, maybe something about goalkeepers.
Talking about goalkeepers, we all know that that's the most difficult position to play in terms of football.
It's a very technical department.
Goalkeepers are not always being taken seriously, and this World Cup has proved to us that that position is always important, and it is a position that should be taken seriously. We've seen goalkeepers in the likes of Bozinia from Cape Verde. We've talked about him.
Mpasinzao.
We can't go without mentioning Dao. He is one of the best.
Emiliano Martinez.
Against Emiliano, and the Iranian goalkeeper who had 19 saves against Belgium. It can't go unnoticed. Then the Curacao goalkeeper also had 15 saves. So it has been a tournament of goalkeepers, and we can't go without mentioning the Spain number one, Unai Simon. Is only conceded one goal in this
particular tournament.
So it tells you a lot about goalkeepers. And I talked to you about clubs like Chelsea who have an issue with goalkeepers. This is the moment that they should go to the market
and they should have a legit goalkeeper.
They should look at those goalkeepers who performed in the World Cup. So next season we don't need an excuse of we don't have a good goalkeeper. There has been good goalkeepers in the World Cup. They have performed at the highest level, and this is the moment that they should go into the market and pay some cash for the goalkeepers.
Okay, I know we have not even weighed in this particular one, but I think it's now point in time to bring it in. I'm talking about England versus France. That's the third and fourth playoffs. And you see, there is this particular match which I'd say most of us who are watching the World Cup are not even aware, or rather we just term it as an official match. But again, it's an official World Cup game. And as a matter of fact, it's a game that ended 10 goals.
10 goals.
As per they say.
The most goals we've seen
in a World Cup match. And I remember I was watching the match, and I'm a France supporter. Now going into halftime, France had barely scored a goal.
4-0.
4-0. But now, waking up, things have skyrocketed, and they have gone to a point where I can't even explain what went down in this game. What's your view on that one?
First of all, I feel the two teams, in my view, vile walicheza this particular third round they were playing. I feel like if each team had brought that game to their individual matches that were played, exactly, because the way England played, na vile pia tu France ilicheza, nilikuwa nashanga mbona mkuku mnacheza hivi, where is this energy suddenly coming from? Because you're not playing for a cup, so tuange cup ndio mcheze vizuri ama, because I didn't expect that many goals from those two teams, because first of all, mmetoka World Cup, you're not supposed to be really psyched up for this game. You're not going to really get anything out of it, in my view. So I can say it was very surprising seeing how they played, considering this was an unofficial match, like you put it, in quotes.
In quotes,
They're talking about a glorified friendly.
A glorified friendly
match.
And I also remember that that was the English media had actually dubbed that game as the most pointless game in the history of football. But I think they changed their thoughts, or rather their sentiments, looking at how the English team performed in this particular game. Because also one thing to note is that look at how, or should I say, the histories that have been made with different teams. That is England. This is the first time they've reached in that particular position, or should we say in a long time. So also it's something that we can also as well talk about.
It was their best performance in a World Cup since the last time they performed in 1966 when they won it. So this was their next best performance after the 1966. So it tells you a lot about England finishing third, and they were talking about it being pointless. I feel like it wasn't pointless, because if you tell us that this was your best World Cup performance, then it's not pointless to me. And talking about the 10 goals, like she said, we all didn't expect to see so many goals. I expected some goals, but I didn't expect 10 goals. It was one of the most open matches I've ever seen. It was so open, so attacking, and it reminded me of the Champions League game between
Arsenal and PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich, where there was so many goals. And that third place match, I feel like it also should be an important match, and I kept on telling you that it is important because we also need to know who finishes third and who gets the bronze.
Okay, now Amelia, before we even get the overall, or rather should I say the official naming of this particular award, what can you say about the likes of Kylian Mbappe? Do you think that Kylian Mbappe stands a huge chance when it comes even to getting the or should I put it, even Olise as well? Do you think he's rightfully placed when we are talking about the golden goal?
Yes.
The golden ball.
Yes, I think they're rightfully placed. I think overall we are so used to the usual names recurring. So I think right now people are in a very huge state of denial because we are not used to such events happening, such young unnamed talents wanatokea tu, you know. Hivyo tu wana sprout, you wondering what's going on. The people we are expecting to carry hizo vitu, watuka Ronaldo, Messi, they have really wamelalisha sana. So I think in generation yao ikifesa out, we are now getting the new names we should now be focusing on.
Okay, so honestly,
so yes, they are going to, I think they are wako sawa kukua kwa hiyo lineup.
And you think now the GOAT debate of Cristiano Ronaldo is now settled with this World Cup?
Sasa between Ronaldo and Messi. Because both of them sasa hata nimewaingiza kwa kikapu moja. Waende tu home. Wamechoka, wamemaliza kazi. Waende tu home. In my opinion, it's such a bad way to retire, but wacha sasa to focus on the new talents. Sasa it looks like we are now getting our new GOATs now.
So Leon, do you share the same sentiments?
I feel like now the Messi and Ronaldo debate should be over, because I told you that debate also has really spoiled football, because we've based so many arguments on I'm a Ronaldo fan, I'm a Messi fan. There is no point where you'll find people sit and have sober conversations about football, not involving Messi, not involving Ronaldo. And I remember very well the instance when Egypt versus Argentina happened, and we saw so many controversial calls being made. And I remember telling you that we can't have conversations of changing football if we still have people thinking about Messi and Ronaldo. It's not about Messi, it's not about Ronaldo. It's about FIFA, it's about the referees, it's about these people who are making calls that is really destroying football. That was the point that we wanted to point out, and that's why I'm backing up, talking about we need to put Messi and Ronaldo in the same bucket and get done with them.
Done and dusted.
Done and dusted.
Okay, now I know we are almost coming to an end, but there is something that I wouldn't allow us even to live without talking about. Because now we are at those were 307 goals. So we are adding one goal. 308 goals scored so far in this World Cup. At some point, it was going to be the high-scoring goal. The highest at those were 307 goals. So we are adding one goal. 308 goals scored so far in this World Cup. at some point it was going to be the high-scoring goal, the high-scoring World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had already passed. I think we were at what particular level when we just surpassed the record itself?
After the group stage.
After the group stage.
When we had 177 goals.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go straight into it. Amelia, which was your best goal so far? A goal that lives rent-free in your head right now. A tough one, yeah? Or there are a lot of goals over there?
Ni mingi sana.
Ni mingi sana. Okay, Leon, as maybe she ponders on the best one to pick for us.
My best goals, like she said, there are so many goals, but I'll go with the Cape Verde equalizer against Argentina. That color.
Oh,
yeah, and the player had to run and celebrate in the stands.
And you see one thing about that goal is that he also didn't realize that he has scored.
Exactly.
He couldn't believe.
Yeah, he was shocked.
He was shocked.
Yeah. So that goes as my goal of the tournament.
I think my goal of the tournament, I'll give it to Torres. The goal that he has just scored right now here. Because Torres has saved us from from the banter that was awaiting us.
That's a big goal. That's a big
goal.
That's
a very big goal.
You just won that because that's a goal worth of everything because it's a goal that wins the World Cup. And a goal that wins the World Cup deserves to be the goal of the World Cup.
The goal of the World Cup, considering that this
one... And Torres did us justice.
Torres did us justice. Yeah. So Torres, wherever you are, blessings, man. Blessings, man. You have saved the race, the humanity race that loves football. I mean, this one was going to be a hard nut to crack, especially when we are talking about these Argentine supporters. I'm pretty much sure it could have been very, very difficult. Now, also let's talk about these African teams as we wind up. I know earlier on we were starting and we mentioned the African teams, but I must as well just come in clean and say that this one was a World Cup of African teams as well. What do you think, Amelia, African teams should maybe work on as we go to the next World Cup? Because we've seen 10 African teams out of 48 teams in the World Cup, and we also saw 9 teams qualifying, that is for the knockout round. That's a big ordeal, especially for Africa. So what can you say is maybe a key point that African teams should look onto as we maybe prepare to the next World Cup?
I think first of all, and I think we mentioned this at the beginning of the show, just their overall mentality, because like we pointed out when the show was starting, inafika mahali, well, in this cases, in this World Cup, ilikuwa the 80th minute, inafika hapo unashanga, what's happening, mumepotea wapi, nini limewaingia kwa akili, you know. So I don't know what might be going on in that aspect. But I think that's what coaches should start looking into, just overall the mindset of vile tu wako. Because you remember the thing you were saying about whether I think referees were the ones who are affecting Africa kutoka ama kubaki. Let's change that.
So I think it's more or less like tubadilishe tu akili, we change our mindset on the referees, the ones making this,
let's stop being quick to victimize ourselves. Kitu yoyote ref, kitu yoyote, tumechoka, tumeshindwa, tuache hiyo story, tucheze ball. If it's football, let's just play football. Tutoke kwa akili. So I think they need to work on their mentality overall. But it was a good performance.
It was a good performance. Fair enough. Leon?
I think I'll back on mentality. We really need to work on our mentality, and just like she said, we need to work on how we finish games. And again, I feel like the coaches should work on how we also approach the games, because it seems like we were giving so much respect to the opponent. We were not in a position whereby we go head to head. The only game that I watch an African team go head to head with the rest of the world's team is the game between Egypt and Argentina, and also Cape Verde versus Argentina. Those were the games that I only felt like an African team also wanting to win and everything. And away from all of that, I feel like the Senegal incidents behind the scene, you remember what happened?
How Senegalese players actually went into the World Cup with unpaid dues.
So unfortunate,
and they were actually having to spend their nights in a place where, for lack of a better word, dingy places.
Dingy places. They had to go buy food from other hotels coming in.
That's
so
sad.
those are things that when it reaches the level of World Cup, we shouldn't hear of such things. We shouldn't be seeing such things. And for it to be happening to one of the best teams in Africa, in Senegal.
I mean, we could just say the best team in Africa.
The best team in Africa. I was very much surprised. And those are the small details that we as Africans should be working on and should be trying to change come into the 2030 World Cup, because one of our African teams will be among the hosts in Morocco. So I expect Africans to at least do better in terms of behind the scenes, off the pitch, and also on the pitch, like she's talked about the mentality thing.
Okay, finally, has the 2026 FIFA World Cup done you justice?
It has and it hasn't. It has in terms of the football itself. People have played football. Most people have played football. Most teams have done what they came to do. It was bad in terms of the behind the scenes. The political side of it was very politicized. I think this is one of the most politicized World Cups. It had a lot of kulikuwa na a lot of nitty-gritties.
Prime Minister.
It wasn't just about
FIFA
football.
President. Yeah, a lot was going around.
Yeah, it started looking like a gossip magazine at some point, because the things we are focusing on, we are here to watch football. What is all this drama and what is a politician coming to, so that was a bit disappointing. I hope that can be worked on. And the officiating, I feel like the officiating, I don't know, was it a script? I am not sure. I can even mention some of those. The officiating was so
also poor. An Argentine fan, you are complaining about the officiating.
If I'm talking, yes, because that's also a thing. And I said I was an Argentina fan because Brazil lost, so I'm not really a fan. If you are talking like a sportsman.
Oh, so you got into the final as you had to take in one team, because there is a rule that you take in this World Cup. When your team is out,
there are no feelings. Just take the other one, move.
Rudy Soko.
She's talking about in terms of officiating. There is nothing like Argentina, or it's overall officiating.
Overall officiating was very poor.
Yeah, okay. Leon, did it do you justice?
If I start with the finals, Spain beating Argentina, then they did me justice. And like she's talked about in terms of football, we saw pure football. We saw some entertaining moments, some big moments in terms of football. But the political side also, I'll repeat what she's just said. Yeah. The political side was very much disappointing. Also, the officiating side, kind of disappointing, which I'm 100% sure they're going to work on. Yeah. And some of the mouths that are not even involved with football trying to bring their opinions on football, with the likes of the Paraguayan Prime Minister. We also saw former Spanish Prime Ministers talking about French players not being French. And I was very happy, and we talked about it when Pau Kubasi and Borja Iglesias used their platform to condemn what the Prime Minister said. They talked about if the players are playing for France, then they are French. And that was the main thing that you've been asking for in this World Cup. Yeah. From when South Africa was playing, you talked about why are these players not using their platform to condemn
whatever the ills that are happening
in South Africa.
Vacuum,
and I was very much proud when I saw Kubasi and Iglesias do the same thing. They protected the French players before their match against France, and those were things that I feel like the World Cup did me justice. As much as there was so much controversies, but the good side outweighed the bad side.
Okay, as I stand currently, we are putting a close to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which has just concluded in the USA, Canada, and of course Mexico. If I believe we've totally unpacked the nitty-gritties of this particular tournament. I mean, we are geared and gassed now to the English Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, and I mean lots and lots of football. Ama namna gani, my friends? Sikia nyuma nataka kuona ball.
Kabisa.
We just have a 2 weeks rest.
Then
we are back to football.
But with football, there is no rest, because the 2 weeks we also have some friendlies. Pre-season friendlies back to back.
And also, a question to you: is your club signing?
Yeah.
Is it?
Is your club signing? We all saw the rough and tussle of that is Chelsea signing in, fighting for a player with the Arsenal, but of course we saw the better team won, or rather, maybe Arsenal.
I feel like Chelsea just signed Morgan Rogers because Arsenal wanted him, and this one takes us back to the Mikhailo Mudryk transfer.
Yeah,
I remember very well. Arsenal were the first team to spot Mikhailo Mudryk. They wanted to sign Mikhailo Mudryk until Chelsea came in and signed Mudryk, and you know afterwards what happened. At the moment he is facing a ban. He's not helped Chelsea in any way. And same with Morgan Rogers. I feel like they've been conned. 117 million.
It's a con.
It's a con. I didn't expect my club Arsenal to part ways with 117 for Morgan Rogers. No. If you talk about Vinny Jr., I can part ways with 117. But for Morgan Rogers, I'm not going to part ways.
And also you are bidding farewell to Trossard after really putting a display with the Belgium side. Loyal servant.
Yeah.
And of course we've seen him show up for the Belgium side in this particular World Cup. I mean, there are lots and lots of stories that we can talk about when we are talking about the World Cup. We've just ushered you in with some transfer details, of course, ahead of the English Premier League.
And
but for now,
Manchester United lost to Wrexham in
that
the first pre-season friendly.
We were focusing on the World Cup.
But now when you start talking about
you have to mention that.
Okay, I have to mention it, yes, but we were just focusing on the World Cup. Don't be deceived. Our players are very busy. We've seen Martinez here playing in the World Cup. Our players are busy. At least we put up a player in the finals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I mean, that has been our time, and we will be here. We are not going anywhere because we will just be here for you to put you into the know when we're talking about matters sports. That has been the 90+ podcast. And of course, just to put you into the know that it is now time to tell a friend to tell a friend. Of course, Spain is the winner of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. But as of now, my name is Oanje Kusimba and I'm signing out. And always remember to put your mentality up at Mamba. Director sikukusikia mimi na nikaamua kumaliza kipindi. Alikuwa